Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 190 for Super Kelly Brothers podcast for the 11th of December 2023. My name's Sloan Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
I was looking at the date and I was like, how do you read dates again?
Howdy.
It's 3 days after John Lennon's death, 50 odd years ago.
Yeah.
40 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
40 years ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yep.
40 years ago, 33 days ago.
Yep. Well, when he was murdered.
When he was murdered, that's true.
Yeah. Murdered in cold blood by
Mark
a fan.
Yeah. From Hawaii, I believe he was from.
I've read many books on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 1. 2.
Well, 3.
2 if you count. Well, 3. Well, if you count, I've read 1 book on it, but I've read 2, John Lennon books as well.
Right.
Which obviously have it in it.
Uh-huh. And he wrote them pre-posthumously.
Well, one of them was a conspiracy theory book about the assassination of John Lennon, and the other one was the What was the guy? The controversial author guy.
Harvey Goldstein.
Was it Goldstein? Anyway, him. And then the other one was I think it was the guy that wrote the book on Jim Morrison. No, it wasn't. Anyway, I've read 3.
Walter Isaacson?
Doesn't matter.
The guy that wrote the Steve Jobs book? He writes an awful lot of books. No. That makes me think that he doesn't write any of the books.
Oh, no, I'll tell you who it was. It was a guy that wrote a book about Kurt Cobain. He wrote a book about John Lennon as well.
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
Cool.
So, answers.
On a postcard. Comments below, please.
Yeah.
So how's your week? Are you all set for Christmas?
Yeah.
All set for the breaks?
It's very icy here, very cold.
Oh, is it?
You must be getting a lot of snow at the moment.
We're getting snow.
We're talking snow, everybody.
We're talking snow.
We're talking snow.
The weather.
We're talking ice. We're talking snow.
Just want to check the Bills Jets game. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it was, that's good.
Oh, nice one.
They won.
Yeah, good. Well done. Well done, the Jets.
No, not the Jets, the Bills.
Oh, sorry. The what? The Pills?
The Buffalo Bills, dear.
Oh,
Bills.
Sorry. The Pills.
The Bills of Buffalo.
Bills of Buffalo. Buffalo
Yes.
Bills. Oh, the Buffalo Bill, right? Okay,
Oh,
that makes sense.
Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, nice one.
A victory at home.
So have you been using your old your new snow machine?
I've had that for a couple of years now.
All right, I thought you just.
I think this is like the 3rd season I've had it.
Oh, okay.
I did use it earlier this year, but but it's been fairly rainy up until just now. Although it has been sort of slightly snowing today, not much. It's more kind of wet on the road, but it's that kind of like it lies in the grass. What the hell are we talking about snow for?
Anyway, let's get into it. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
For a horrible moment there, I thought you were going to start describing slush for a moment.
Pull down the slide, give tomorrow's drive time.
That could have been a slushy thing.
Anyway, moving on to the drive time forecast. You'll see that with this.
Let's get into it.
Jesus. News on the 8s. We've got some bad news. It unfortunately is the season. These things do happen. We lost Kirstie Alley this week.
Yeah.
Cancer, age 71. Famous actress. She played. I can't remember the name of the character now. She played a Klingon. Not a Klingon. Vulcan. Yeah, she was in.
Oh, you're going to go the Star Trek route, of course.
Right, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
She was in Veronica's Closet. She played Veronica. I don't know.
Well, she never played The Closet. That was later when she got a bit bigger.
That was her with John Travolta and.
Oh, was she married to John Travolta?
No. Only a movie. Just the movie, Jody. That was her. Somebody had cruelly tried to turn her hair into a moustache there for some unknown reason.
Yeah, Salvador Dali.
Yes, that's exactly it. She was born in Kansas, but she's no longer in Kansas anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and
fantastic hair, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. I know. Lord. It's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Jealous. So anyway, yeah, she's 70, 71, gone, but will not be forgotten. And other sad news as well. Ruth Maddock of Heidi High, who played Gladys Pugh, and she used to do the ding 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 thing for. Do you remember the name of the camp?
Heidi High.
Yeah, it was the yellow coats, but it was the.
Oh God, pontoons.
Camp Wanahakalugi.
What?
Camp Wanahakalugi.
Is that not from the Addams Family?
No, it's not from the Addams Family, but yes, it is that kind of camp. No, it was Pontins, and there was Butlins, and then they had Maplins.
Were they Maplins?
They were Maplins.
Oh, right, okay.
Maplins.
Inns,
so
did they have to have inns in the title so that it was like somewhere that you stay? Inns.
I don't know.
See that actor there? See the guy that acted beside her?
Simon Cadell, yeah.
I don't know how he ever kind of... He's the most awkward person.
He always did that as well.
In the TV.
He always did that. That really annoyed me. I don't know why that particular maneuver, but that maneuver annoyed me. The not put combing your hair, but the flat of the hand over the top like that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but it did annoy me. He could have played Clive Sinclair though.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, so yeah, Ruth is gone.
Do you remember we met Ian McShane? Not Ian McShane. What was that guy?
Paul Shane.
Paul Shane. Remember we met him in Blackpool?
In Blackpool, yeah.
And he was dead rude.
Along with the Crankies, wasn't it?
That's right. It was like was it a celebrity football match?
I think it was. Yeah.
God,
the Crankies were. It was like a celeb pro-am type thing. It was a charity thing, but we went along because we were in Blackpool.
You went out what had been their team though? Paul Shane and the Crankies.
I know that was. Do you remember some guy called him up on breakfast TV and said, "You owe me £500."
Oh yeah, I do. Aye.
That was funny.
He was dead rude to us. Him on the left. Him on
the left. This guy here
wasn't nice to kids.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
No. Crankies were. They were fairly. In fact, some would say they're Fandabby Dozy.
They were absolutely.
Yeah. They were the Ant and Dec of their day.
They certainly were. Yeah.
They were everywhere. They were everywhere.
Yeah, they were.
Although I think Ant and Dec are a bit more talented than they were.
Yeah.
But anyhow. Okay. Ruth Maddock, yeah. Heidi High. Hody ho. Heidi
Hi, everybody.
Hody ho. Heidi High.
Hody ho. Hody ho.
Hody ho. Okay. Let's talk DCEU, my favorite subject in the whole wide world.
Well,
much more interesting than any of their movies, as far as I'm concerned. But
well, this is crazy. Ever since what do you call him? Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn and Steve. Is it Steve? Peter Safran.
Yeah, it seems as if things are going a little bit odd.
Ski whiff, as they say, technical term.
Well, the first thing is they've cancelled Wonder Woman 3, right?
Okay, so apparently what happened was the rumor around that one is Patty Jenkins not one for criticism. And whoever it was, the powers that be, I believe it wasn't just the two new guys, it was the other execs as well at Warner Brothers said, that's not really the direction we're going to go in. How about we take it in this direction? And she went, no. And she stormed off. And she said she's not going to do it. So apparently she wasn't open for collaboration. She's very kind of closed-minded as to what she thought would make a good movie.
Yeah. Do you think they've stepped in because of the second one was far different to the first one?
It was weird. The second one was good,
but it was,
in fact,
odd.
Arguably better than it. But it was almost like somebody had said, "We need a Thor Ragnarok."
Yeah, it was a bit odd, but and I wonder if they went, can we steer it back to the way the first one was, because that was like the big successful one.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't like the first one.
I think the first one was $1 billion movie. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
pretty sure that was a big one. That was a big one for them. But I think they want to maybe, and she's quite right. Though it's her, her vision,
puppy.
I suppose.
Mhm.
And I suppose if Warner Brothers don't like it, then I don't know, they should maybe hire somebody else to do it, or I don't know. I think
That
that's what
might
it's
well
looking
be
as
the
if
way.
they're gonna have to do, though, isn't it?
So, Man of Steel, Henry Cavill appeared in the famous of Surprise to No One at the very end of Black Adam as a cameo. Um, Dwayne has been championing Cavill's return as that. We got news that he was coming back as Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like, well, let me know he's not.
And
Uh,
surely, right? The best thing that James Gunn and his pal could have done would be to have as his torchlight first thing that comes out under his umbrella as a new Superman movie. Surely
I would have thought so, yeah.
that's what you do.
But maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's got a different direction for it, and that's what he's trying to do. Because it looks like he's basically unraveling the Snyderverse.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jason Momoa has not been asked to come back as Aquaman either.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
Which
already
also
under
means
turmoil because of the bloody
because of Amber Heard.
Amber Heard thing. Yeah.
But the other thing is, they're supposed to be doing cameos at the end of the Flash as well. Apparently, that's going to get nixed. So that means the Flash is probably gone as well. So it's basically
The Flash is in turmoil as well.
Yeah, well, the Flash is in turmoil as well because of Ezra Miller. They are problematic. So
do you think they're drawing a line on? Do you think what he's going to try and do is draw a line under everything and go, right? Let's
just reboot.
Aye, kind of
again. You can't keep doing this. You
No,
can't
they
keep
can't.
doing this.
I know.
I mean, the way that they handled it in the MCU, and again, I'm commenting about the MCU, but that some people are arguing that the first MCU movie was in fact Hulk with Ed Norton, and all they effectively did was recast Bruce Banner. That's all they did.
No, I don't think that's canon, though. I think. Oh, sorry, it is the Ed Norton one. It's the Eric Bana one. It's not. Sorry,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So all they did was recast Bruce Banner, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's worked ever since then. I mean, we've had a sort of mini Hulk movie through all of this.
Yeah.
And DC does this. Well, we'll just give them a new Batman every 12 years and they'll be happy. It's like, you got to stop
Batman things. The Batman thing's confusing the way they're doing things because they've got Batman and Flash, they've got the Justice League Batman, and they've also got Pattinson Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
The Batman.
Well, they've also got there's two Jokers kicking around as well.
And there's two Jokers.
There's a pair of Jokers.
Because Jared is still kind of kicking about.
Yeah, he's still the Suicide Squad / whatever Joker, and then you've got his own universe Joker as well.
You've actually technically got three because there was that extended scene with an Irish actor.
That's right, with the Batman. Yeah,
so there's technically three Jokers kicking about as well.
Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. It is weird. It feels like there needs to be a sort of steady hand in the tiller, and they need to kind of get their act together.
So maybe that's what James Gunn is going to do, and it's like right, forget about that. That's done. That's in the past, and now moving forward. But I would still like to see Henry Cavill don the cape again. You know.
Yeah,
it could have been so good that as well. It's like I feel it's went a bit like Star Wars, you know.
The other news is that because James Gunn likes kind of quirky characters and things, he's thinking of doing a Lobo movie, which is this like intergalactic thing, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It's very DC, very niche. But he wants Jason Momoa to play Lobo.
Right.
So he would basically sort of just go, well, you're no longer Aquaman, you're...
So is that why he's pulling him from...
Maybe.
I mean, the thing about it is, as well, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, that Henry Cavill had pulled out of Witcher in order to do Superman.
In order to do this,
what the hell's happened in the last week?
That's immediately what I thought of as well, is because they recast, because one of the Hemsworths is going to be the Witcher now. Yeah. Gerald.
So what's going on?
I don't know. fans might be able to see Cavill as Superman for the last time in The Flash, releasing in theaters June 16th, 2023. Who knows?
Oh, doesn't it?
It's the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, and the other thing as well is at the start of the year, talking to Patty Jenkins, going back to her for a sec, her whole thing with Star Wars that fell apart because she didn't have enough time to do it because she was doing this Wonder Woman movie. So,
and yet,
are we getting Rogue Squadron now?
and yet, that was announced as being not a thing, and then suddenly it was a thing again.
Yeah.
A few months ago, remember?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's still a thing.
So is it still a thing?
I just wish they would. I wish Lucasfilm wouldn't announce things too quickly.
Well,
and I wish DC would get their act together. You know?
Yeah. I mean, this is just another a PR nightmare as well for DC because you got to be careful releasing it. Like people, you can't get people to say that they're doing something if they're not going to be doing it. Like if you're not going to do it, like Cavill's going, "I'm back, baby, I'm Superman," and he's not. Like he said on Instagram, he goes, "I'm back as Superman." It's like,
I know.
Nope.
It's weird.
Like it's almost like they're not the press aren't talking to them. Like, and it's not. And I don't think it's the fault. By the way, I don't think this is the fault of Henry Cavill. I think the problem is he's been told one thing, and behind the scenes they're saying another thing. Because you can't release things unless you've got clearance for it. So he's got clearance for it from somebody, and they've reneged on the deal. So
or is it weird? Or does everybody get behind the scenes everything's done and dusted, but there's been some quirk that people have latched onto, and that's what it is. I don't know. It's weird. Why announce it like that, and then suddenly it's the carpet's been pulled from your feet,
Yeah.
Odd, to say the least.
Confidently said on where is he? I want to make it official. I am back as Superman.
Hi. Did he just? Do you know what worries me about the James Gunn factor? So it's like having Taika Waititi in control of all your, the whole of the Marvel, and then the humor gets injected. Humor gets injected into the whole, the DC thing that James Gunn does.
Yeah.
And James Gunn's humor's a bit off the wall at times.
Yeah.
And it's, you can see his humor all over Guardians. You can see it all over Peacemaker. And it's just a bit. I wouldn't want to see that in every movie.
No. I don't think you should. It's the same thing as like it's great in a Guardians movie, but not so much on an Iron Man movie or something like that.
It kind of grated me a little bit in Peacemaker as well, and Suicide Squad as well. No, more so in Suicide Squad, I think, because I was like, oh, come on, this is dumb. But
anyway, that's it on screen there. So the image you see in this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come. There'll be a lot. There's a lot to be thankful for, and I'll get into that in time. I promise it will be rewarded. Thank you for your patience. So, I don't know.
What does it all mean? We'll find out.
What does it all mean? Exactly.
I'm sure we'll find out.
So, but we do know that there's a first photo of
one of the Jokers.
Fully ado. And why is it not got the picture on there? There you go. A very sunken chested Wham Phoenix there.
He's dedicated, isn't he?
I mean, he's getting on. He's getting on in ages. That's not gonna work for long because the last role I saw, he was kind of pot bellied.
Oh yeah, and put it back on.
Like he's taking it off again.
Emaciated.
Yeah.
Wish I could get his bloody diet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he does the. Do you remember the movie? Was it The Mechanic? The one with.
Aye. Yeah. Christian Bale. Yeah.
And his diet consisted of a can of tuna and an apple every day. That was all he had.
Do you know that some what's his name? Rob McInnery, who is Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he put on an inordinate amount of weight for one of the seasons of.
But that was for
Always
a joke.
Sunny.
Did you know that was a prank?
Yeah, it was a prank. Well, yes, but do you know how he did it?
No.
He said you can't eat that much, but you can drink it. So he used to buy ice cream, let it melt, and then he would drink the ice cream.
No way, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think he's quite kind of
method acty.
Yeah, but he's quite controlled in his weight and his fitness and things like that, I think. Isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, normally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that doesn't show you much.
No, it doesn't. It just shows you him being very laid back and getting his face
Doesn't
shaved.
look particularly laid back right now. Feels a bit tense looking. But
yeah.
But if it's anything, if it's half as good as the first one, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, the first one was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen King of Comedy, you've seen that movie, but it was still good to see.
Oh, it was still great
in that universe.
Listen, it was a homage. You know, it wasn't.
No, it was good. It was good.
It was.
I mean, it was exec produced by Scorsese, so he signed off on it. So you know, it's
absolutely.
not like they were like going crazy.
No, it was so good. We all know it was so good. You know, we're not preaching to the converted here.
Harry and Meghan are in a bit of trouble over their misleading clips. So apparently they showed some clips here saying that this is the paparazzi that follow them around. This is not the paparazzi that follow them around. This was actually for a Harry Potter premiere.
Oh, really?
In 2011, 5 years before they met. This one here is from the Katie Price trial.
Right. Good.
And this one here is from the Michael Cohen trial.
Right.
And then there's an overhead camera shot as well, which I don't know why I'm not. It's like it's a third party. It's not showing me the photographs there. But there's a shot, and it's looking down on them from behind. It's like, and they get you in all these weird angles and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, that was a signed off thing from the press, and that was their spot that they were told to go to, was this parapet.
Right.
And so they did what they were told. They were told to go up there, and they took a couple of pictures. So, and there's a weird picture cropping here. I don't really understand this picture cropping here, but yeah. So they're being called liars over the misleading clips, which is
what I find strange about this show is the fact that we want to step away from the limelight. We want to, just be a family. Here's our 6-part Netflix special.
The way I described it to Anne-Marie was, it's like that not only but also a sketch where Peter Cook is dressed up as Greta Garbo, and he's sitting inside a Sherman tank as it's being driven down a high street, and he's got a megaphone going, "I want to be alone. Do not take my picture."
That's exactly it.
It's exactly that. It's the please stop doing it. There's I watched it.
Stop it, do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all that rolled into one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, the Peter Cook thing. I want to be alone.
I want to be alone. Down the middle of the high street in the Sherman tank.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about this later, but
I take it, did you watch a couple of episodes of it?
One episode I've watched.
Okay, I watched 2 episodes, so I have comments.
Right, well, we'll save that for later.
Gaming news. A couple of gaming news things. The FTC apparently is suing Microsoft to block the Blizzard purchase.
Just explain who the FTC are.
Federal Trade Commission. They are the what do they call it in the UK? Like Ofcom or something like that. Not Ofcon, but not Ofcom as in Offers of Communications, but they basically make sure that people aren't setting up monopolies and
trading standards.
Well, maybe not trading standards. That's
independent trotters.
Cool. Trotters Independent Traders. That's them. Yeah, Trotters Independent Traders. That's who it is in the UK.
Dylan Rodney. Dylan Rodney sue Microsoft
Yes.
to block its Activision.
So basically, the
Activision
Trade
Blizzard.
Commission, they're set up so that things are fair and equitable in the market, and they don't
Yeah.
believe this is fair and equitable in the market because Microsoft would then own one of the biggest publishers and therefore be able to screw other companies over. This was announced about a day after, 2 days after, Nintendo announced a 10-year deal with Microsoft to have Call of Duty shipped on their console, which is the first time in the console since like 2008 or something.
Right.
So this is like huge news for them. And then they turned around and said, if Sony wants the same deal, call us.
Right. Really?
So I don't know if they were doing that to basically usurp this thing, which is probably true because it's not come out of nowhere.
Well,
so that does make sense
yeah.
a little bit.
Well, that's the worry with Call of Duty fans, right? The fact that
The light guns.
well, they're worried that it's going to. Well, Danny's a Call of Duty fan,
Right.
and they're worried that Xbox will have the monopoly on Call of Duty for like a year, and then it will be released onto other consoles. They can't get it. And you know, if Microsoft were
mean,
they would do that to boost sales of their consoles, wouldn't they?
But the thing is that buying a console is just buying a console. You're just buying a bit of metal. It's the software sales after that.
Yeah, of course.
That's the thing.
But you do need to think of the fans as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that would. You know the fans would go against Microsoft. I think. You know. We've seen it happen with things like the Sonic movie when the trailer came out and the fans were like, "No, that's not my Sonic,"
Oh,
I
know,
and things like that. So the same thing could happen. So
but,
it's probably a good thing. But
I can't play Horizon on my Xbox console.
True.
And I can't play. I can now, but I couldn't play Ratchet and Clank, and I couldn't play Uncharted up until recently.
I know, but those were originally on those consoles specific.
Yeah. So what's the difference between this though?
Because this wasn't. Activision was a multi-console.
Yeah, but when
multi-platform.
Microsoft, I don't know if it says further down here, but Microsoft, they bought other things like, for example, Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all that kind of stuff. And those games are still, Bethesda. Those games are still across consoles. You can play Doom on a PlayStation. So what's the difference? Why all of a sudden is this a problem?
Because they own those properties. Sony owns Uncharted. Sony owns,
yeah, but what about Microsoft owns Bethesda? And Bethesda owns Doom.
Aye.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is why is Active Blizzard such a big deal compared to Bethesda? Because it's the same thing. It's Bethesda had all these things that were across multiple consoles. A console manufacturer bought them, but they still are multiple
question.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that Microsoft didn't say, okay, you can only play Doom on Xbox. You can play Doom anywhere you want.
Yeah.
So So my ask then is, what's the difference between this one and the Bethesda deal?
All right, I see what you're saying. Why block the Activision thing?
Why did you not block the Bethesda one?
Well, maybe it's because they're thinking they're kind of seeing a pattern. Maybe that's why. It's like
now you get precedent set up.
And also thinking, wait a minute, what else are they going to buy up?
This screams the same thing as Microsoft owning the browser market. Remember years ago when Windows 95 came out and they would own the browser market. And I mean, I don't know what browser you use, but I'm using Chrome.
So am I, actually. Yeah.
So
I only use Chrome now.
Microsoft, like, I mean, I know Edge is installed on this machine, and it does pop up every once in a while when I do searches on toolbars. But I don't use it.
I use Edge at my work.
I don't.
Use that at my work.
I don't. But I use Chrome. I use two browsers. I use Chrome and I use Safari, and that's it on my Mac, and that's all. The reason why I do it is because I prefer the interface and the look and feel of Safari on a Mac. Chrome on a Mac just feels a bit weird. I don't know why. It's just me. It's not the application. The browser's fine. I use it here. But yeah, it's like
but I mean, for
Microsoft
years,
didn't win the browser market, and they're not going to win this.
But for years and years and years, they did have that, So maybe they think if we buy up all this, then we can be kings again.
Mm.
Not that they've never been kings of the console market, that's for sure.
But
and
Microsoft
they certainly lost the last generation.
But the thing is that this is assuming that Microsoft is the same Microsoft when Bill Gates was in charge, and it's not. It's a guy called Satya Nadella that's in charge now. Satya Nadella, yeah.
You said it with such conviction there.
I know, and then I'm like, is it Nadella? Yeah, it's
never doubt yourself.
And he bought GitHub. Like, not he didn't buy it. Microsoft bought it under his watch.
Yeah.
GitHub is where the world stores their source code.
Yeah.
Like every company in the world uses GitHub. He didn't suddenly go like, well, if you're not using Windows operating systems to develop your stuff, you can't host your stuff here, which is an actual line that somebody said that they were going to do, is pull all the stuff because they're just going to host Windows things. And it's like, no, they're not. They want to make some money. That's what Microsoft's reason for living now is, not to crush the competition. It's to get the competition to pay them money. Yeah. And that's what this is. And I don't see why FTC is sticking their noses in it. I think if anything, Sony would be dumb not to take them up on their 10-year offer. Because Microsoft just wants your money. That's all they want. They don't want loyalty or fiefdom or I'm better than you. They just want your money.
I know, of course they do. But whenever I see a story like this, I wonder what's going on here, what's behind the scenes. But anyway, we don't know. We don't know.
They want your money.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's much more interesting gaming news though, and it's this.
Oh, good.
This is
Jedi Survivor.
Jedi. Yay.
Back to tank, bit of back to tank loving.
Yeah.
Cal
Kestis.
Cal what?
Kestis. What? Oh, library.
It looks pretty funky. I do hope they fixed. I don't know if it was just me, but I got lost in the maps.
Oh my god, the maps were just. It was all that.
And it did my head in. The first one. Yeah, did my head in. Great game though. Loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the mixture of kind of Uncharted and Star Wars. And, things like that. And it looks fantastic.
Double lightsabers. Is this going to be the world between worlds? Is that what he's going to do?
Oh.
Is
that a wampa? A forest wampa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those guys.
Yeah. Is that the world between worlds?
Don't know. So there's a bit of two playable characters in this one, by the looks of things.
He's got a wee beard.
Looked like
battle
it.
droids.
Yeah.
That's
a bit of kind of Force Awakens laser shots, laser blasts.
Oh,
nice.
Claymore hilt.
A lot of droids. Droids are easy slashing through.
Yeah, and droids are also easy because you only have to draw one. You only have to model one model.
Like butter.
Like butter.
Well, there's that as well. You're thinking of it from a development point of view.
From a development perspective, yeah.
No, it looks good. Like I say, hopefully the map is significantly more navigable. Anyway.
So you sent me this story.
Oh man, I hope this is true. Please let this be true.
All right, so I did check. It was released on the 7th of December, which is what, 4 days ago.
Mhm.
Matt Goss, who is the frontman of Bros,
Mhm.
I think he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Luke was the drummer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wants Idris Elba to play him in a biopic.
Mhm.
Um,
I read
okay.
this article though, and I think it says he jokingly says in it.
Our lives have almost been science fiction, says Goss. Luke was
Mhm.
born. They cut the umbilical cord. Didn't know my mum was having twins. That I was still in there. That's how I've always wanted the film to start.
I want to see this film. You know, we've had the documentary, which was
Oh,
amazing.
before joking Idris Elba.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to see Idris.
It
That's
would be
so
funny.
funny. When will I be famous? I mean, they've only got that one song, don't they?
No, they hit the other one.
What was the other one?
Uh, the other one. Oh god, I can't remember. Discography. Here we go.
Did they have one album? One
3.
album. Did they?
They had Push, The Time, and Changing Faces.
Wow, 3 albums.
I owe you nothing. When will I owe
Oh, I
you
owe you nothing. Oh yeah, I
nothing?
know that one. Yeah.
Nothing, nothing
On
at
Drop the
all.
Boy, I know that one.
Drop the boy. Yeah. And when will I be famous? That's the only 3 songs I get.
Right.
They had I Quit, Cat Among the Pigeons, Silent Night, which I guess is a Christmas single.
Must have been.
Too Much, don't know it.
No.
Chocolate Box,
Would you call me?
Sister, Madly in Love, Are You Mine, Try, Love Can Make You Fly. That was 2017.
Whoa.
Which was, geez, almost 30. Yeah, almost 30 years after the last single.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
that's the 3 that I remember is I Owe You Nothing, When Will I Be Famous, and Drop the Boy. But they were fairly big back in the day.
Oh, they were huge. Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
you might not know who they
to
were.
see Idris play Luke Goss or Matt, is it
Matt,
Matt? Matt
Matt.
Goss would be phenomenal, especially a younger Matt, and it was Idris
Oh, like
playing him.
de-aged.
No, just no. The age is now playing a young Matt Goss.
Oh right, okay.
I'd pay a ticket to see that.
You play the drums I want you to play. You shut up. It'd be great.
Yeah, brilliant. No, that's our biopic, Sloan.
Never being a brother. Never being a band with your brother.
I think Luke and Matt could play us in a biopic.
They could, yeah.
How about that?
They look younger than us. I think they're older than us as well.
Oh God, are they?
I think so. Yeah.
Bloody
Ross,
bastards.
Like Goss. 68.
Go away. What age is he?
54.
God's sake. But then, he always looked kind of young,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he's the one with the acting career, isn't he, Luke?
Is that the drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Blade 2.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro seemed to like him.
Guillermo. Hellboy
Guillermo.
2. Pinocchio came out this week. I guess we're going to be talking about that.
He was in Hellboy 2 as
in
well.
a second. Did you watch Pinocchio?
I tried to watch it.
I tell you what,
and I was voted out.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back and we'll do what you're watching.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, what are you watching?
We have been watching a lot of Apple TV.
Go on.
Yeah. I personally have been watching
Stop sharing.
For All Mankind.
Okay. The forerunner to Star Trek.
Well, that's what people are saying, isn't it? So it's like the kind of alternate version of the kind of space race.
The Russians got to the moon first before the Americans did. And
Well, the Russian female
Russian female.
got there. But well, spoilers, but they still do land on, but they kind of crash land, but they make it off, kind of thing. It's just a little bit different. Then the Russians get their first female in there, so then they. This is only like episode 2 or 3, so I'm not really spoiling anything.
Yeah.
So because of that, the Americans want to get a female up there, and they're like, she needs to be blonde, she needs to be beautiful, all this, It's like just the things that the Americans probably would do,
Get one of the gals from the diving pool.
Aye, who cares how talented a pilot or whatever she is? Just get her up there because she looks good.
Yeah.
Poster child. We've been watching Schmigadoon.
Oh yeah, Schmigadoon with Cecily Strong and Michael Keane. Keane and Michael K.
He's in Reboot as well.
Yes.
Yes. Which was good. I enjoyed it.
Michael K.
A musical thing, very colourful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very self-aware as well.
Yeah.
It's one of these kind of, it knows what it's about, and the songs are catchy, and it's funny, and it's uplifting, and it's everything that a lot of TV isn't these days. There's a lot of gloomy stuff on TV that you watch. Well, Andor was gloomy, but I do like it. I love it. I love it though, but it's nice to watch something a bit more upbeat sometimes, and not something you'd normally watch. What was the other thing we wanted to watch? Apple TV.
You been watching Slow Horses?
No. Oh, I know. The video game thing.
Oh yeah, Mythical Quest.
Aye, yeah. Been watching that. Been blasting that actually. It's fantastic. Absolutely loving it.
With Rob McHenry.
Have you watched some of it?
I think I watched the first I watched the first episode of that. I watched the first episode of Schmigadoon, and I watched the first. What was the other one you said?
Say that again. You don't do this. Don't put me in the spotlight.
What was the first one you said there? You liar! You lying liar!
It was For All Mankind.
Oh yeah, I watched the first episode of that as well. Yeah, I watched the first episode of all of those 3 things. I went like, yeah, they're okay. And then that was 3 years ago, and I never went back to them.
No, I stick with them because I'd say the For All Mankind is a bit of a slow burn, but then once you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I would stick with it. I think it's 2 seasons as well.
2 seasons
of For All Mankind. What else? Movie wise, we just watched Bone Tomahawk there. I think Evelyn was going to throw up into a bucket at the end. It's like quite. Have you seen it? Seen Bone Tomahawk? It's Kurt Russell and Patrick. Oh God, what's the guy's name? The guy that was in Incest and he was in Moonfall.
Patrick Wilson.
Jeez, oh man. I'm terrible with names. And it's quite an old film, but Kurt Russell's just dummy it off. We both love Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah.
And it's a cowboy thing where a woman gets kidnapped by Indians and they have to go and get her. But it turns into it's like
is that the plot for the Searchers?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty simple plot, but it turns bad.
Okay.
Turns bad.
Real bad.
Yeah, and it's pretty realistic looking.
So you never got a chance to see Pinocchio then?
No, I didn't. I was outvoted. I wanted to watch it.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
Why not?
I get 20 minutes, half an hour into it maybe, and I'm like, I don't care.
Oh well, you can't say that if you've not watched the full
Part-
thing. Though.
Yeah, well, yes,
That's
you
not
can.
fair.
Yes, you can.
All the effort, all that stop motion.
It's worth. It's useless. It's
no,
not worth it.
pointless.
Just put in actors.
Do you not think though that you've got Pinocchio fatigue?
So it could be that. It could also be the fact that the part of Pinocchio himself is obnoxious. Right, the puppet. If you actually go back and watch the original Disney one and the remake of the Disney one, he's actually not a nice puppet. He's a bit of a dick. Okay. And he learns to become a good boy. That's the whole purpose of it. Is he's not a nice kid. He's just this horrible thing. You tie that up with, quite frankly, an ugly piece of wood, and you're going like, there's nothing redeeming here. There's nothing, not a damn thing redeeming here. And I struggled all the way through it, and I'm pretty sure Ewan McGregor actually phoned in his performance. Like he was on the phone on some ISDN line, and he's going like, Guillermo's like, says the line number 105, and he's like leafing through the things like, that's my house. Okay, says the line 137. You can't come in here.
Right, okay, we get it.
Honestly, it's like that.
Do you know, it's funny because James loved it, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He said it was stunning. So sorry, James. But I think that's fine. Like, friends can disagree. We don't have to all like the same stuff.
No, not at all. We get Pinocchio fatigue after the Disney fiasco.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it a week or two, I think, before we watch it, because I think we're it's too soon. Too soon.
Yeah.
We watched The Kingsman.
Oh, aye. What
first one, second. And then the second one.
Oh, both of them.
And they're obviously.
I think the second one's great as well.
Me too. Yeah, it's really good. Actually, I enjoyed it the first time round, but this time round I was really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched The Last Samurai. Me and Danny watched The Last Samurai on because we're playing Ghost of Tsushima just now on the PlayStation. So we're kind of all about the samurais and stuff. So I'm going to try and get him into the proper Kurosawa movies.
Get to watch Yojimbo.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get him into that kind of stuff. So I think he'll like them. It wasn't as good as I remember it. Last Samurai, I must admit.
Yojimbo's good because there's a bit of comedy in it.
Yeah, he might like it.
Did he not like it because he had to read a lot?
Well, Last Samurai?
Aye.
I don't know. I don't think there's enough action in it.
I
think that was it. Kind of halfway through the movie, it kind of once the ninjas appear, it kind of gets a bit more kind of actiony when the village gets attacked.
I think you could say that about any conversation. You could be sitting in a pub, and once the ninjas appear, it gets a bit more actiony.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But up to that point, it was a bit kind of.
I was on the train, and all these guys came in like the nunchucks.
Oh, not drumsticks.
Not drumsticks.
Not Phil Collins doing a fill-in.
No. That's a gorilla eating Cadbury's dairy milk.
Aye. And I've been trying to get through Wednesday, but I'm not quite there yet.
What?
Mm-hmm.
We blasted it.
It's a bit Hogwarts-ish for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's getting that way for me. I'm getting a bit kind of.
It's more Nancy Drew, I thought.
Yeah, it's well made and stuff, but I'm not quite. It's not quite my cup of tea. I don't think. Anyway.
Nice.
Over to you.
I tried to watch Pinocchio. Honestly, it's not for me. I see what they're trying to do. They put a lot of effort into it. I appreciate the effort, but nah. I honestly, I didn't think the acting was that great. That's the other thing as well. It felt like somebody was reading lines.
That's what acting is.
No, I know, but
with feeling.
they also did that with Rango as well, and Rango is a much better movie.
Oh, I love Rango.
Exactly. Monday night, we watched Star Wars.
What do you mean?
Star Wars. You know, there's a movie. Starts off with a crawl.
I always get a fright. Do you get a fright when that happens?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So we watched Star Wars on Monday night. And then Tuesday.
Oh, the original?
Night, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. At Sam's request.
Well.
And then Tuesday night we watched The Empire Strikes Back.
Wait a minute. Why?
Because it's the one that follows Star Wars.
I thought you said Return of the Jedi there for a minute.
No.
I must have a brain fart.
No. Monday night was Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Tuesday night was Empire Strikes Back. Jeez. Wednesday night.
Caddyshack.
Sam was at our friend's house. We didn't watch anything.
All right, okay.
Well, I watched something. I watched one of the Harry. Was it Harry and Meghan? Something else I watched. No, in fact, no. I was going through all the YouTube videos that I'd missed. Thursday night, though, we watched Return of the Jedi.
Nice one.
So we watched all three. And then she said, do you want to watch the prequels? And I went, no.
You might like them now.
No. I saw them recently. We sat through them about a year ago. No, I'm not watching them again.
I watched the 6 movies. Me and Danny watched them this year as well.
Mm-hmm. Just the 6, not the 9?
Actually, wait a minute. No, we watched them all actually. Aye. Or did I refuse to watch Last Jedi? Went in a strop. Sat in the car for 2 hours. No, I'm not coming out.
This is outside your house as well. It's not like it's not like this is cinema.
No.
So out of those 3 movies, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, I'm gonna say Empire was probably my favorite.
Well, that's what everybody says.
I know, but having seen it recently with fresh eyes.
Aye, but does your favorite flip flop between the 3? Is that what you're saying?
I kind of like Return of the Jedi, but I
like Return of the Jedi, but I wish they hadn't put that Muppet scene in it.
Well, there's that. Yeah, there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of. I kind of wish we had the original ones back, like not all the CGI. Like the CGI, Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars is egregious.
Oh, it's pointless.
Greedo shooting first.
Mm-hmm. Pointless.
No. Just make Han shoot first. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of things that were good that they added in.
Do you know the most egregious one actually is the one where they're stopped and they're getting the "Where did you see your droids?"
Mm-hmm.
Just before that, there's a big
rolls right in front of the whole thing.
Right in front of the camera.
I know.
It's so annoying that. Mm-hmm. It's like, what was the purpose of that?
They added blinking into the Ewoks and Return of the Jedi.
Is that what it was? Yeah, I saw the blinking thing and I thought, that was quite clever.
I did that in.
That was actually that was okay.
But that was fine, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Although it tends to be a bit of skin that blinks, not your pupil, but whatever. Anyway, Amsterdam. We watched Amsterdam.
Oh, did you? Right, okay.
Yesterday. So that was Christian Bale, Margot Robbie.
Yep.
John, David Washington.
Big cast actually.
David Washington. Taylor Swift's in it.
Is that Denzel Washington's
son? Yeah, the guy that was in Tenet.
Oh, he was good. He was good in Tenet.
Yeah, he's really good in this as well. Chris Rock's in it. Robert De Niro.
Wow.
Cast of thousands. Zoe Saldana's in it as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of people in it. Actually, Timothy Oliphant's in it as well.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a
It's
lot
not.
of
It's not always a good
cast of
thing. That
characters.
so big cast like that.
So it's directed by David O. Russell, who gave us Silver Lining Playbooks and American Hustle and all those kind of
All
movies.
right.
I don't like him as a director. This
Oh,
is another one of those.
not a good start.
This is another one of those kind of like, yeah, it's a movie, I guess. It was okay. I mean,
Did
it
you watch it
wasn't.
all?
I did watch it all. Yes, I watched
Oh
it
well.
to
That's all
completion
right. Right.
because it had an engaging story, and there was something that felt as if it could pull me in. Whereas with Pinocchio, I'm going like, I've seen all this before.
No,
We're
no.
not
It's too
telling
soon.
anything
It's too
new.
soon. Yeah.
And even the whole stop motion thing, I'm like, just use CGI, man.
No, I like the stop motion. It's nice.
Eh,
It's pure.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
I watched. I'm going to get to a high point this week. I promise.
Thank God.
I watched Harry and Meghan.
Oh yeah.
I want to be alone.
Yes.
Oh my
Do
god!
not look at us.
Stop looking at us. Like billboards. Stop it. If ever there was a documentary series that did not need to get made, it's this one. This has no redeeming qualities in it whatsoever.
No.
I don't care for either of these people.
No, neither do I really.
It's like I don't care. Like you're not next in line for the throne. It's the equivalent of going back 30 years and then them doing a documentary on Prince Andrew when no one knew about all the stuff that he was up to. The most boring man in the world, or so we thought. I just go and live your lives in California, wherever it is you are. Who cares?
Do you think that they produced this and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, it's all them.
This is all them, so they had complete control over it.
This is and that's why it's a bit baffling. Just the whole thing. Like I don't get. There's a whole bunch of hatred for Meghan because she's in the UK press, especially because she's black or she's mixed race, and
I don't know if that's the reason.
But they focus in on that. I think, and this is just on a personal me watching it as a viewer. I think she's quite annoying. There you go. I think Meghan Markle's that woman is a bit annoying.
I reckon
I don't like her.
You know,
there you go.
She's an actress.
And
therefore she's not a normal person.
She's always acting.
You know. Let's talk about that. Talk about bloody James Corden. I've been watching his Mammals show actually.
Have you? I watched the trailer and I immediately went, nope.
It's kind of okay, but I can't take him at all. Oh my god.
I can't do it. I can't.
It's putting me off him. It's not putting me off him, but I can't watch the show. I just can't watch it.
I went to see this was a few years ago now, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago now. I went to see Craig Ferguson, who James Corden took over from as the host of the Late Late Show. That man is still hilarious. He's still really funny, genuine, and just a nice air about him. Don't get any of that from James Corden at all.
No.
Just this horrible, vacuous.
Aye, but he's not even
going around.
He's not even genuine in real life, I don't think.
No.
Which is the thing. If you've got a kind of persona on the TV and things like that, but to be like that.
Yeah, but do you know the whole thing about the restaurant thing that happened?
Yeah, well, that whole thing.
Yeah. There was a couple of other things I tried to watch, and it was just like it was like books closing on me. It was like, nope.
We did that with a couple of things. We did that with the Night of the Museum animated movie.
Oh yeah, Sam was trying to pitch that to us. And we're like,
Night of the Museum. David Wimpy Kid animated. But we've seen the movies before. Danny's read the books. and we get 20 minutes in, and we're like, nah.
Yeah. I'll tell you the
Bring
ones
us
that
something new, Disney. Jeez, oh man.
I tried to get into. The FIFA Uncovered limited series.
Oh yeah.
They did so it's 8 minutes into the show, and they haven't done any interview. They haven't sat down and all that kind of stuff. It's just clips of things that you're about to see, and I'm going like, this is it. That's all I need to know. They're a bunch of criminals. It's a criminal organization, and they've pressured a lot of people to make questionable decisions, and they've made out like bandits. So why do I need to sit through 4.5 hours of this?
And it's still going on because
it's still going on because
that's
we're
the reason why it's in
Qatar, wherever the hell it
should
is.
never have been there.
And it's also, if you want to know why it shouldn't have been there, this is the reason why we're talking about it now, because it's in the middle of winter, because that's when it's cooler.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing of, we're supposed to be this all-inclusive corporation, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And we, and then so we're going to have, but for a bag of money, we'll have the World Cup in a country that's not all inclusive,
that has at best questionable human rights at best.
For a bag of money.
The other thing about there was the American guy as well that he wore a rainbow shirt to support LGBT colleagues. Well, specifically colleagues. He's not gay himself. He's married, but he wore it, and they like detained him for like 3 hours. Why are you wearing that? It's like, they said they were going to have beer. They didn't have beer. So you've bought your World Cup ticket. You're thinking to yourself, I'm gonna stock up on Bud Light when you get there, and you get there, and it's like, this is a dry country.
It's sponsored by Budweiser.
I know.
It's not a dry country, by the way. You can have a beer in the hotel.
Can you? You just can't have it at the game.
It's the same as Kuwait is a dry country. You can't have beers in the hotel, but I'm sure people do. But
yeah. Well, there's always places you could go to that,
Yeah.
If you know the right people.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so it's quite interesting.
No, I got 8 minutes in. I'm like, this is all I need to know.
That's a record.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is like this is another one that I tried to get through. Trevor Noah. I tried to watch that. I wish you could. I wish you would. Which is live from Toronto. And I'm like, oh, it's in Toronto. Oh, this might be quite good fun. And 20 minutes in, no.
Is that a stand-up routine?
Stand-up comedy thing. I'm like,
yeah, I saw a bit of that. I didn't really float my boat.
But what I did watch though, all the way through, it was the first 3 episodes of Slow Horses, which is back on Apple. Gary Oldman's tour de force, shall we say, or is this is it? He's leaving us at the end of this. He's hanging up his acting socks. What a great wee show.
I've still not finished the first season.
It's insane. It's insane the fact it's on Apple. It's the same as Severance as well. How can a show like Slow Horses and a show like Severance not get on are streaming services like the place to be now for shows, or
are people watching it?
Well, they signed up. Apple signed up for 4 seasons.
I suppose there's a lot of Apple owners, right enough, that have got Apple TV, I suppose. Because I tell you, the quality on Apple TV is very high.
Yes.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon. Everything I've watched has been very, very good.
Yeah.
Not
they
just
don't put
good,
out a lot,
very,
but they put out what they do put out is great. And Slow Horses, honestly, is like we got to the end of episode 3, we're like, and now we're gonna have to wait for a week because we missed the first. It's been out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because every time I think to myself, I could probably get rid of Apple TV, then I'm like, oh, but I've not seen that. Oh, I've not seen that, and then I watch it, and then I'm like, they're good.
Yeah,
definitely good. Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my pick of the week is Slow Horses.
Nice one.
It's great. It's really good. If you like, it's a kind of spy detective type thing, cloak and dagger type stuff.
Spy.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But it's so good. The characters are great in it. They're all very believable, and you can imagine that this is what an MI5 operation is like that runs in some dingy part of London.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a few of those offices in London.
I'll bet you have.
Doing various IT respectful jobs in that, I'm saying. But yeah, that's it. That's all the news that's fit to print.
Publish.
If you want to get timely reminders of when we put something new out, then don't forget to hit the old subscribe button, subscription button, and notification bell, and or not. You can always unsubscribe; it's free. We don't charge any monies for that.
Tell them that.
Unsubscribe though. What really does help is smashing that like button and sharing on social media, commenting below as well. What TV show are you looking forward to? What movie are you looking forward to next year? We'd love to know. Comment on the video below. And if you're listening to the podcast, thank you very much for listening to the podcast. You're probably in the car. Watch out for that. Watch out.
Let's salute. I'm saluting podcast listeners.
Those watching a black and white handset, Jody raised his right arm. If you're listening in the car, then that guy on the right hand side there, totally pushing in. Don't let him in. Don't let him in. Yeah. We will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.